Exodus might just be the next big game to come out. From some of the original developers that left BioWare after their golden age, they're making an ambitious and new game that is being called the spiritual successor to Mass Effect. Being a space sci-fi RPG with narrative choices that the player can make that will affect the story of you, your home planet, loved ones, and companions for better or for worse over the span of decades and even centuries with the help of time dilation. A mechanic used in space travel that keeps your time fundamentally the same, but for those you leave behind, they can live out entire lifetimes before you come back from your missions and travels. This of course comes at the same time you're trying to save the human race after all humans have left Earth after it became uninhabitable, and the first humans to find a new habitable system have evolved over thousands of years and become unrecognizable aliens called Celestials that despise humans now for one reason or another and could wipe us out at any moment if they so pleased. Overall, sounds pretty cool, right? That's not even mentioning that Mr. Alright himself, the man, the myth, the acting legend, Matthew McConaughey, is actually getting a major lead role as a character in this game to boot. In a game centered around time dilation, which, if you remember, played a major part in his critically acclaimed and massively successfully received blockbuster movie being Interstellar. Man, if this doesn't sound like an awesome concept to you, I have no idea what would. But the weird thing is, some of you actually may be saying, wait, why haven't I heard of this game before? Well, you probably have. If you watched the 2023 Game Awards, you probably did back then, but have forgotten about it by now. Since Matthew McConaughey came out that year to present Exodus to the public for the first time ever at that event, unveiling he would be a part of the gaming world for his first time ever. But since then, everything revealed about the game has really been limited to their YouTube channel, devoted email subscribers like myself, which they call founders, or people who just frequent their game's official website. They've even done a collab event with a huge streamer to try and get the buzz out there, and although new people did find out about the game and got hyped for the game afterward, I doubt it got them the turnout that they were hoping for, as their socials aren't exactly screaming that this game is going to be a commercial success. At least not yet anyways, because I truly do believe when this game gets closer to release, they will be turning the marketing to an 11, and eventually all eyes will be on Exodus when it's near release. So ultimately, that leads us to the question that people have debated on the Exodus Reddit and the unofficial Exodus Discord, which if you aren't a part of those communities but are interested in the game, its lore, or just have questions about the game, I would highly recommend joining these communities. I'm a part of them myself, and I have met some awesome people who are hyped for the game just as much as me, or even more so. But that question in particular that's being asked is, does this game have a marketing problem? The game itself sounds interesting. It's being made by gaming industry veterans that have made classics people absolutely love, so why aren't more people hyped or following along with the game's progress? Well, me personally, I think the conversation is a lot more nuanced than just a yes, it's marketed bad, or no, it's not. In order to see my view, first let's list out the ways they've kept us in the loop with what's going on in the game, which I briefly touched on before. The big one was obviously their 2023 Game Awards presentation, where they even brought out Matthew McConaughey himself to introduce the game. But they did this 2 years ago, and they only showed off a CGI trailer which looked awesome, but didn't really give too much information on the game itself. At least not until the follow-up interviews after that you had to dig for, and the extended version of the trailer that came out later that doubled its runtime and flushed the game's lore out a little more. I'm not even gonna lie, even myself, I wasn't hyped at the Game Awards instantly to see more of this game. When I saw the trailer, I thought to myself, wow, another CGI only trailer, and they're tying an actor to it to try and draw people in. Not to mention, it's another game with no release date, so we won't see anything until maybe 5 years later. Whatever, I'll keep it in the back of my mind. Because for myself at least, I wasn't sold on this until I saw the ever-expansive lore on the game's official site and the awesome trailers building their different creatures and species on their official YouTube channel. which of course are two other ways to keep up with the game, but they don't really show this content anywhere else. It's just on those platforms primarily, and you already kinda have to be in the know about the game to even know these things exist. A simple Google search won't even accidentally stumble you across the game, because using the word Exodus itself has a lot of other search results being brought up before it, at least at the time of filming this video. And currently, it's February 3rd, 2025. Then we get into their creator collaboration they had in December of last year in 2024, where they partnered up with the big influencer and content creator Carnage, where they did about a 1-hour event with him on his stream, where the developers of the game showcased their first ever gameplay trailer for the game, and held a Q&A section afterwards with and the community of people present at the live stream. This presentation, when I was checking live during my watch party of the event, had about 17,000 people tuned in of his following of 1.6 million followers on his channel. Now, to be fair, this number could have been higher or lower though, since some of the stats that appear live do freeze from time to time or don't adjust on the mobile version, which I checked during the presentation. If this number is anywhere close to what it actually was at the time of this presentation though, it's doubtful this is the turnout they would have wanted with such a big collaboration. It's also important to note, even founders, which as I mentioned before, are email listed subscribers for news about the game for when information is made available, were informed about the event only 1 day before the event even happened. And I don't know about you, but I don't really check my email all too often, even when I'm fiending for new Exodus news, so it's a blessing I even saw it in time in the first place. Moving on to their official channels and following counts, they have a total of 18.3 thousand followers on their Twitter and 69.4 thousand subscribers on their YouTube channel as of the filming of this video, with their posts and trailers usually getting more views than their following counts, with something like their gameplay trailer getting 488,000 views on YouTube and their December gameplay reveal post getting around 41,000 views on Twitter. These numbers are a great start, especially with gameplay just being shown for the game for the first time, but like I mentioned before, it's not screaming this is going to be a commercial success just yet. This isn't even mentioning that, as provided by a member of the non-official Discord for the game, some people apparently don't even know that Celestials will be in the game, the seemingly main antagonists of the game being different alien races, all being evolutions from the humans who reached this part of the universe first. Some people, from the gameplay shown off in the reveal trailer and the gameplay trailer, thought this game would only have humans and robots, which the robots are primarily referred to as ghosts in this franchise, but that's besides the point. So far, these are all of the ways that you can access information about the game except for one, being the official site of the game. And here, I think, is where you can truly get a feel for what to expect from the game, and not only that, you get an idea of the insane amount of detail, lore, and scope that this game will be having. The problem again is you have to be in the know and frequently check the sites for updates, and there is a ton to read through, which could turn some people away, or if you love reading all these different entries, could just be your cup of tea. Most people though would probably only parse through some of their video trailers since this site is very text heavy, but for those who are willing to read through it, you will learn a ton about the universe they are building for the game. Overall, it's just not looking good for the marketing of the game though, I would say. Although I don't think it's because of the tactics that they're using. Not many people are following their social accounts, all things considered. The views are good, and the intrigue is definitely there, and I would say they have all the ingredients to be the next AAA franchise, but something just isn't clicking. On the non-official Discord, we have brought up this conversation before, like I've said, and my thoughts on the matter are still the same. When it comes to people not even knowing about the alien-like Celestials, these are people who only saw the reveal trailer, gameplay trailer, or both. Which I want to make clear, I am not blaming people for this. You only know what you know about the game, or what the game presents itself as. So I see what people are saying in terms of having a marketing problem for sure, but ultimately, we have no idea when this game is coming. We only think hopefully by next year. The number of people interested at the moment is nowhere near what I think it will be upon release of their full marketing swing. So they have a lot of time to correct this and craft what the real feel and expectancies for this game will be once release is close. Even though they've essentially been given a blank check from Wizards of the Coast to do what they need to for this game, marketing is a vicious and an entirely different beast. Use your budget early and people forget the game by the time it's coming out. Use it too late, and then you fail to gain traction before release, then flopping in sales. Right now, they're catering to what I would consider super fans who are really interested in the game and lore, which is a select group of us, by drip feeding us details and hopefully later touching on huge presentations with trailers, in-depth dives, and maybe even flashing from the creators of Mass Effect, if needed, on bigger and more recent events, like hopefully this year during Summer Game Fest. At least that's my opinion on everything so far. I believe this summer may very well be the month of June, pun completely intended, as I think it will kickstart the next major marketing push for the game as we ultimately get closer and closer to this game's release. Overall, I think what they've done to market this game so far is great. I was actually really confused when I only saw a couple of thousand followers on their socials and at the live Co-Carnage event. The trailers have been awesome, they spark curiosity about the game, and the art and gameplay so far looks phenomenal. Overall, I think these things just need to be marketed in a more public showing, like I mentioned, with more eyes on it, like Summer Game Fest, and with more details than just a CGI trailer. Only then will fans start showing up in the thousands, at least that's my opinion on the matter. I also think they've done a great job of keeping what I call a super fans fed, with great short story posts about the universe, lore updates, trailers, and news on other ways the franchise is expanding through things like books and the tabletop RPG from their official site. If you're a longtime fan or just getting into the mix of things, you have plenty of content to chew on in the meantime, until you eventually become ravenous for more and more, just like some of us in the unofficial Discord. I would say what they are actively doing in terms of their marketing is good, and they're doing it in cool, unique ways too, like with the Co-Carnage collaboration 1-hour event. But when it comes to maximizing on these opportunities, I think they fumbled on the potential outcomes they could have had. Only informing even your most hardcore fans of this collaboration one day before gives minimal time for people to be aware for an event of this caliber, it felt like. And keeping these trailers and videos in their own corner that people have to go out of their way to find after only having a bare bones and initial concept reveal 2 years ago means they are definitely out of people's memory when it comes to games they're looking forward to if they didn't grab their initial attention at the event, whether they have an awesome actor tied to the reveal or not. I personally think they can keep going down the same marketing technique and will even benefit by doing so. But first, I think they need to show up at some of these major gaming events with a great display in order to re-garner the interest of the masses and remind everyone, or maybe show people for the first time ever, why Exodus is about to be the next big gaming franchise. That wraps up my thoughts on the marketing angle for Exodus, but let me know what you guys think of the marketing for this game in the comment section down below. For everyone who's made it this far, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed or found it entertaining, make sure to scroll down and make that like button glow so we can reach our like goal of 25 likes for this video. While you're down there, consider subscribing as we'll be covering Exodus as updates come out. And make sure to check out some of my other Exodus content, like how Exodus is set up to capture the magic that was in the likes of Interstellar, one of the greatest sci-fi projects to this day, and some of the most terrifying creatures revealed to us so far that we can expect to see in the Exodus universe. Along with that, I also have a video on the tabletop RPG and the 8 pages revealed so far, and what it could mean for the video game, along with a full breakdown of the gameplay trailer revealed in December. Basically, I'm saying for everything Exodus, keep it tuned on this channel as the Exodus rabbit hole is here. As always, your support through your viewership, liking, and subscribing is always greatly appreciated and helps me out tremendously against the celestial threat that is the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to catch you guys next time. Peace!